Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This one is going to be on Tyrador Keep, and it will be between ONEzerker, the red Zerg player who should be noted that in almost just about every game I've seen him play has accused the other team of hacking when he loses. In games that I'm not sure really don't seem that suspicious to me. So just to be I'm biased against ONEzerker, that's all I'm saying, because he constantly accuses people of hacking, which is something that bothers me. And yes, even when ProTech does it, it does bother me, though oftentimes he has a point because of his stream, that people seem to watch his stream while he plays just to try and get under his skin. But either way, his teammate will be ppgBubbles, the blue Terran player. Their opponents will be none other than xSixAzide, the purple Protoss, and SuperNinja, the teal Protoss, doing their standard huggy pylons at the beginning near the front, and SuperNinja will go for a forge next, and Azide will throw down that gateway shortly. Meanwhile, it looks like Bubbles is going to start his little wall off here, positioning the barracks in such a way that he can go ahead and get a tech add-on quickly. And we'll see where he decides to go with that. Most likely we'll be seeing some Marauders and probably a bunch of Zerglings to start with. And as ONEzerker has opted not to go for fast expand, that has been scouted by Azide. He will likely end up taking an expansion probably at around 20 or 21. Will ONEzerker? Actually, I'm not so sure, as I think it's been a while since I've watched these guys play, but I remember I cast 2 games between these teams earlier, and there was a lot of bad blood, and they were pretty exciting games, if I remember right. So I'm not sure what the order was, whether this came before. I don't think so. I think this came after. And oh, those Zerglings almost thinking they should chase the probe around, but then deciding better. It's not going to be worth wasting all that time chasing this probe around. So now Azide is going to go ahead and looks like send this probe home or go hide it somewhere, which is what I like to do sometimes. Sometimes I have to decide, depending on the matchup, whether I want to hide the probe. Oh boy. As SuperNinja noticing these Zerglings from the 10 pool running to the wrong base, so ONEzerker gambling very badly. And that is always funny. See, that is why you generally don't open with a 10 pool on this map, because there's not enough time, especially, I mean, if the Terran is not going to scout. So now ONEzerker is behind, where he could have been already had his hatchery finished by now. Instead, he's got these Zerglings that have done absolutely nothing. So you can see why Azide and SuperNinja find that very funny. And now with this cannon here, and obviously this zealot, these Zerglings will not be able to do anything whatsoever except sit here and notice when they're going to move out. So, so far the opening stage is looking pretty good for SuperNinja and Azide, and SuperNinja even going extra pylon, getting some extra pylons and a cannon over here to make sure that Zerglings don't peck away at these rocks preemptively, because that is what the Zerglings probably should be doing at this point. There is a Reaper, however, on the field, and it is about to jump up here. And I think the Reaper actually may have ran in sight of this watchtower. I'm not so sure. I wasn't paying close attention to that. But Azide is quickly going to clean up that Reaper. Looks like he did kill 1 or 2 probes, I'm not real sure. And now a drone is running over here to the left, so we could be in store for a sneak expansion, and SuperNinja should have noticed that as well. So some big no-nos going on right now from the bottom team, and that is basically that. Wow, I'm surprised. I guess this Reaper has not been seen. He wasn't being microed there for just a second, and he's just going to go ahead and scout, it looks like. SuperNinja knows that there's a sneak base going off over there. And this Reaper somehow makes his way all the way back into this mineral line, going to get 3 probe kills, it looks like, trying to target down that 1 probe that has 1 shot left, and it looks like, is he going to be able to get it? He's managed to get a different probe, but it works out all the same, as that Reaper actually paid for himself very well. There's a Reaper sitting right here, and the Stalker right here, and just missed him. So Azide was looking somewhere else, and missed that. Super Ninja gonna go ahead and throw down a pylon here and another pylon here so that he can easily warp in a zealot or two and take out this base. Warp gate has finished for Super Ninja. Robotics facility on the way for Azide. And meanwhile, it looks like Bubbles has chosen to grab this base over here and finishing an engineering bay just in case there's any Dark Templars. Bunker has been down here, by the way, but they didn't end up needing that. And a preemptive pylon was already down here and going to warp in a zealot that kills one SCV, but not really worth it if you ask me. I don't know. It would have been pretty funny if it was over here and they didn't notice it, but either way, he did manage to kill a probe or two there, or an SCV I should say, and it looks like another Reaper just died. Something just died, man. I don't know. But these watchtowers belonging... Okay, now ONEzerker has a watchtower. He has 2 watchtowers, but he doesn't have this one. So I'm surprised, as that is giving Super Ninja so much scouting info. He's been waiting until this base is finished. And now that this base is all finished, looks like he's going to send his zealot up there and go ahead and kill it. So... that's what you want to do, by the way. Don't if you know that this base is going down and they don't think that you know about it, don't kill it right away. Let it finish and let it get a couple of drones up in there, and now kill it, because now you'll be able to get free drone kills and extra wasted minerals, as these drones will probably be able to get away. Another zealot is actually being warped in. He could warp a stalker in here and end up killing all these drones, but is it worth it? I don't know. And now Super Ninja is finally taking his second base, about the 10-minute mark, hallucinating a couple of Phoenix here to do some extra scouting. And I guess getting that second zealot so that the broodlings that pop out won't kill them. 1 zealot against 6 broodlings will die, but 2 zealots should not. If microed, I should say. I believe. Maybe even without being microed. But now it looks like Zerker is going to try and take this base, which is scouted by the hallucinated Phoenix. And a zealot here could save this pylon, but I think Super Ninja may not even care about that, or may not even be noticing it. But some marauders are now on the way out for Bubbles. And he is going to find this pylon over here. So, in the meantime, we are massing up Colossus from Azide, and we have Templar Archives from Super Ninja. So, like I said, like I was saying last game in the Diamond cast that I did, when you have 2 Protoss players on the same team, whether it's 2s, 3s, 4s, when you get into the mid-game, it's good to go separate tech routes. Always a good idea to go separate tech routes. Because in general, if you're playing as the same race as, oh, these zealots really need to turn around and fight a little bit too late on the turnaround, going to be able to kill a few Zerlings, but they are dead. That pylon getting taken out, by the way, too. As if you are playing the same as 2 of the same races in a 2v2 game, you are at a disadvantage. I mean, that is just the way it is. This is still, I cannot believe that the Protoss players still occupy this watchtower. As, I mean, they've seen this entire army moving up and down this whole time. As there's just, for some reason, not a Zergling at this tower. So that is me ripping ONEzerker, my favorite player. As I'm sure he'll decide that Super Ninja and Azide have been hacking one way or the other. Bubbles is just scouting for proxy pylons all over the place. It would help if they took out this probe. I know I've said that like 20 times. But anyway, we are getting a Warp Prism speed upgrade. Is that what that is? For Azide, let me check that. Let me check. Yeah, that is the Warp Prism speed. So we are going to see some special tactics from Azide. And will we, well, he could just use, oh, wait a minute, there is a Warp Prism in here, and it's got a couple of zealots. You gotta be careful. There's a bunch of Marines already in position there. It looks like he already tried to do this drop. Okay. His Warp Prism has 2 hit points. As you can see, this is before the update. The Warp Prism only has 40 health, and I did miss the initial harass. Sorry about that, you guys. It looks like it wasn't able to do much. Surprised this Warp Prism is even alive. So he's got his speed now for that Warp Prism, something you almost never see. And I'm not sure if he's going to be able to harass this location. He should probably think about trying to come around the backside maybe. He could harass down here or down here in the main, really vulnerable. As now personal cloaking, by the way, is being researched. So more ghosts being made by Bubbles. Ghost so powerful. Hive is now on the way and Aspire as well. That tells me that Broodlords will be coming out. And really, Bubbles and Zerker are being allowed to expand along the whole left side pretty freely. While Azide and SuperNinja are just sticking to 2 base and massing up their armies. So if we check the army size, we can see that it's about even. You think Zerg's usually a little bit higher in army size with some extra drones. If we check the units here, let's just see. Yes, there is 76 drones per Zerker. But the beefiness factor definitely belonging to the Protoss team, but there are 6 ghosts and those are going to be critical in this game. Colossi are good against ghosts though, because Colossi, even if you break their shields, it will take a few EMPs just to break all these shields first of all, and they're still, Colossi aren't, they do go down, they die fairly quickly, but they do tons of DPS and they stand way in the back. So Colossus are good to if you're going against someone with a lot of ghosts, Colossus are a pretty good way to go here. And Zealots, if there are enough of them, see, Zealots can be trouble because of snipe spamming. After the EMPs, snipe spamming will go down and can kill Zealots fairly quickly, but if you have enough of them with charge, they won't be able to do a micro that quick enough, as you can only snipe so many times while trying to kite your army backwards and stuff like that. And stim Marauders and focus down. So it looks like the major battle is going to take place here. There will be a major battle. And where are the ghosts? The ghosts are going to cloak up and come up into the front. It looks like they are going to just go ahead and EMP on everything that they can. It looks like they were able to hit most of it, but the Templars safe in the back. Going to be critical for SuperNinja. And are there any more ghosts? There is one more ghost over here. Make it 3 more. 3 more ghosts that still have energy, so don't want to send all your ghosts right away. You want to EMP with some of them, save a few, so that when the Templars come in, you can get them. As here comes the major battle, Colossi roasting up the roaches in the front, trying to get some neural parasites going off on one of the Colossi in the back. Tons of Corruptors coming in here from ONEzerker, and Vikings just ripping through the Colossi in the back. Stalkers doing the best they can to pick off these units. It looks like the Protoss team will be able to defeat this army with the mass Stalkers here from Azide, but I just don't know if they're going to have enough left to actually finish them off. It's going to be very close. They may be able to take out a base or 2 here, as they are just going to keep the pressure going, and these Bleak Stalkers proving very formidable. And it looks like some of the EMPs did not reach all of them. And now Blinkstalkers continuing to press up inside here. It looks like an Archon and some other units from Azide managed to get up this way, but lots of roaches being pumped out from ONEzerker. And oh man, this is really close right now. This Colossi is just huge though. Finally, it looks like this Colossi is going to get taken out by this one Viking here, not being focused down by the Stalkers, and now the Stalkers are going to be forced to retreat once the last Colossus goes down. Pretty intense battle there, and now Azide and SuperNinja are really up against it because Bubbles and Zerker have the much stronger economy, though Zerker isn't using these bases to mine yet at all, it looks like. Pretty much just getting some gas, and the Broodlords are going to be coming out here very soon. As we're pinging all over the place, it looks like SuperNinja really wanting to deal with some of these expansions that Zerker has, and these Blinkstalkers should be able to do that pretty well right now, but they are just sitting back and letting the other team re-macro. Lots of Corruptors on the way out, and those will quickly turn into Broodlords. And that is going to spell trouble. As roaches are going to be pushing out, looks like, for Zerker, just to see what is the haps, but they are going to stay back here. More Colossi coming out, exactly what Azide needs. Blink Stalkers and Colossi, such a powerful combination. But these guys, they're such veterans of the dual Protoss. We got Mass Zealots and High Templars, and then we have Stalkers and Colossus, and one Immortal in here, just for the hell of it. Immortal is so strong in the new version, but this game was sent to me right before the newest version, so Immortals still have the crappy range, as you noticed on the Warp Prism without the shields. So either way, I'm just waiting for the Broodlords to be warped in here, but Zerker just doesn't have enough gas. You can see he's just mining gas all over the place at all these expansions, not even bothering with the minerals. SuperNinja wants to build here, but gonna have to wait until all this creep clears away first. And now Spine Crawlers on the high. I wonder if Spine Crawlers at this location can reach the Nexus there. That would be really, really annoying. As now it looks like Team Protoss is going to make another final push here. The Broodlords, the timing on the push, absolutely perfect, as Zerker was waiting and waiting until he had all this gas. So instead of making his Broodlords as he could, he tried to wait and make them all at once, and that could be a fatal, fatal error. As we do see a nuke also being researched right now, so keep in mind there could be a nuke going down on this entire army very soon. Look for that. There goes the nuke. And I wonder if SuperNinja and xSixAzide, if they see the nuke. Oh my god, Bubbles. His nuke, though, not that greatly placed. He couldn't end up hitting as many of his units as he hits out the other units. There goes the nuke, and it's barely going to take out anything. It looks like SuperNinja and xSixAzide did see that. And oh man, now they are in a lot of trouble. Zerker and Bubbles desperately scrambling to try and get some Marauders to deal with all of these Blink Stalkers all over the place. Their main base is in huge trouble. There goes the EMPs on the Stalkers. But is there enough Marauders to take them out? More and more reinforcements streaming in here. Zealots running in. And now Corruptors from Zerker. There's one Broodlord being morphed in. Now the Stalkers blinking underneath to prevent all the Broodlords from morphing in. Oh man, Zerker. If he had just morphed in his Broodlord sooner as he was getting the gas instead of waiting to try and do them all at once, this could be a totally different game right now. But it looks like they are going to force the retreat from the Stalkers. Somehow Bubbles and Zerker still surviving that attack. I don't know how the hell they just did that, but they just survived that attack. And now I'm telling you, man, I keep thinking, every time I think that SuperNinja and xSixAzide are in big trouble, they manage to find a way to stay in this. They do each have a gold now. xSixAzide's been mining this one base, but there's just not enough. Zerker, he's mining no minerals, man. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. What happened to all his drones? Did I miss something? What did I miss? Where did all these drones go? He is down to 45 drones. I must have missed some major harass or something. Was there a Warp Prism harass or something over here? I'm not so sure. Apologize, you guys, but somehow Zerker lost a lot of drones. Maybe he had this like super saturated when that attack came in, and he just ended up losing them all. Or tried to use them to fight with. Now xSixAzide going to be using some of his extra probes to fight. SuperNinja with some Archons in here as well, and 3 High Templars in the back. And some feedbacks could really wreck these infestors before they can do much. And it looks like some feedbacks did go down on the ghosts that were in the front, though there still is another EMP or two here. Stalkers blinking underneath the Broodlords as best as they possibly can. Archons very powerful against the Broodlords because they can just blast away those Broodlings so quickly. And now I think the bottom team, maybe another stim going off, a last-ditch effort from Bubbles. Is he going to be able to hold his attack off? The SCVs are coming off the line, but just a little bit too late on the SCVs. The Archons from SuperNinja soaking up so much damage in the front. And now with the 2 Colossi here, that could be all she wrote, as ppgBubbles going to be losing all his production facilities. The buildings are flying away. And flying building time usually means end of game time. As we're pinging up in this corner, I'm not so sure what that's about, but either way, Ghost Academy is going to go down. A very, very valiant effort, but I think that is going to do it for the bottom team. Zerker, what does Zerker have up his sleeve? He has a tunneling claws and a million roaches up his sleeve. That looks like what he is going to be trying to do here. He tried to make the switch to infestors there, but they were unable to do very much. As actually, he already had the infestation, all that research done. He just wasn't using them in the last battle or two. Tried to go Brewlords, tried to go back to infestors. Oh man, oh man. If I could critique Zerker's play in this game, he didn't macro well enough, man. He had all these bases, but he wasn't mining from them, and just now he's got all these drones up here. So I don't know. He didn't re-macro well enough for me, I guess. It looks like another Ghost Academy went down somewhere because there is a nuke being researched. There is another nuke being researched. The last-ditch effort for Bubbles is going to involve a nuclear missile and some more ghosts. Spine crawlers, spine crawlers. I'm sorry, this game is going on a little bit long, and spine crawlers are being moved down here. A couple Brewlords and some roaches going to try and make a last stand at this planetary fortress. Not going to happen. This army way too powerful at this point. 4-team Protoss, just wrecking everything. And I love watching SuperNinja and XSixAzide plays. I'm such a Protoss homer, you guys. I'm sorry. I need to be less of a Protoss homer. GGs go down. Wow. Well, ONEzerker didn't GG, but he didn't call them hackers, which I'm impressed by. He's making progress. He's making progress. Either way, pretty exciting game right there. Thank you, XSixAzide, for sending me this game. And that is going to do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.